Hello, hello, this is Arcades, and welcome to a bit of an update video here on Stormworks Build and Rescue. Yeah, I know it's been a little while from my last video, but that's not a VOD, but hey, we're here. And what did the devs give us today? They gave us, well, actually a few days ago in comparison when I'm making this video, but I digress. But they gave us new headset videos. I have a little bit of a qualm with their dialogue on it, but it's just a little bit of a nitpick, and I think they should clarify. You'll see why here in a second. But, yeah. So, hope you like what you see. Hope you enjoy your watch. If you do, remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Helps out the channel immensely. And, yeah. Let's check this out. I got some cool stuff in store. Alright. Okay, so, quick first, to the notes. Okay, so here we go. We got the head-mounted display update. Dear Stormworks, head-mounted displays are here. Connect your microcontroller video feed with a video input, jump into the seat, and use the overlay rendering to show any data over top the player's view. The system works similar in way to the screens in the video scope. The resolution the same as the video scope. This is more similar to a head-mounted holographic lens rather than a worn augmented reality display, as the image blends additively. We have also added pitch and yaw rotation output data to the composite output of gimbal cameras. This is in addition to the laser target position, which will still being output. This is in response to player requests to help with logic systems. This update also includes some fixes. Underwater rendering is now fixed for the viewing scope, and other fixes are described in the patch notes below. Much love, the devs. Feature: seat helmet HUD overlay, stabilize camera pitch and yaw composite values, fix viewer scope underwater shading effects, initial world autosave time of day incorrect, underwater propellers applying relative fluid force in wrong directions, which there's something else I'll look at real quick for that. Jet engine turbines now explode correctly when exceeding their max RPS, and damage meshes are now rebuilt correctly for all components with self-damage mechanics. I'm assuming that's referring to, like, bombs. Now, in reference to the underwater propeller thing, there was a hotfix. Reverted propeller changes due to changing behavior for some players. Resolve drop frames with damage rebuilding. So, there we go. But, big thing we're going to be looking at mainly in this one is the thing I cannot highlight right now. There we go. The seat helmet HUD overlay. We'll take a quick look at this. I don't mess with this much, so I'm not sure. I think this is so you can go put it straight into like some radio control with the missiles. Use the fins in that way, so who knows. But, yeah. Okay, as you can see, I've got I got all the seats that are affected by this update. At least that's listed, that I found. We go to the workshop. I'll show you what's up with that in a minute. Little vehicle. And when you go to the logic, you'll notice they now have a new video input called headset video. Here's my problem with this. This is a small nitpick. By the name of the node, you think that it wants you to turn the seat hat to a headset. No, it does not matter. It doesn't matter what hat you have. You can have none, and it will work just fine. So, keep that in mind whenever you go this. All because it says headset video does not mean you need to have it set for the headset. I wish they would give it a completely different name so it does not get confused, because it confused me at the beginning. Because I was actually trying to, in the way they said, I thought you needed a particular headset for it set up too, as the way they were calling it. So no, you do not need to set this to anything specific to use this. Okay, now besides that, now you can send your Lua images that any you make. So for example, I've got the basic default Lua script here, which just draws a giant circle on the screen, to the video output or input of these seats, and it will display that on the over your field of view. So, quick show off. So basically, we're drawing that circle, and you see, they just got a big circle over a face. Does not appear while you're in third person, but while you're in first person, you will see the circle. And this goes for each and every one there is, as you can see. And that's for all of these. Now, there is a few caveats that I noticed while I was messing with this, because I wanted to see what you could push, what you couldn't push. So, just as a note, these will not take camera feeds. They will not show you a camera feed, which is very interesting, to say the least. But yes, it doesn't show you a camera feed. So if you hook a camera into it, nothing will come of it. Okay, so as you can see right here, I've got a camera attached on the back of the seat. I've got the head mounted display. I'm going to go to spawn this real quick. When we get in, you notice my view hasn't changed. Not one bit. At all. I'm still looking forward as I was. I cannot see through the camera at all. I was hoping they would give it a view scope effect, but it's not really available. Now, that's pretty much the straightforward basics. You input a Lua into it, you see it on your screen, end of story. That's pretty much it. Now, the real issue now comes with the video connections themselves. This is where things get interesting, because we've got no way to really join data in or join video in the game right now. Since, well, here, let me show you. So I went ahead, I was messing with this. This is part of the reason why it took me so long to get the video, because I wanted to make something usable and a good example. So I've got this mining machine I've been building for career. I've got a few microcontrollers on it, made a few changes, and yeah. So first thing you're going to notice is we have a viewing scope here. As you can see, there's nothing here. It looks straight out that camera right there. Now, in and of itself, not a big deal. But when I get in the seat, you're going to see what I've done with the overlay function. Now, one of the biggest problems I have with this is they did say it was like augmented reality. So if you're looking out of the sky, things get a little faded. Unless you have like some of the brighter colors. So keep that in mind. Or you have a dark background to help put them back. Because you see the top left corner, I got a display featuring the vehicle stats, speed, fuel, battery, and temperature. Then the top right, I've got two radials that are monitoring the speed of two particular components. The steam piston thing that's sitting right there, and the drill, monitoring their RPS. Then, down at the bottom, you'll notice there's a thing, another radial, it says ore per minute. It's supposed to be a delta. Hasn't worked exactly like I hoped it would, but, you know, it is what it is. And then you'll see there's two bars down below that. Those show the quantity of minerals that would be stored in the arm here and in the main body. And that's their thing, is that you're supposed to display the values. Maps, I haven't messed with, but what I'm thinking is what happened, it just takes up the entire screen. Haven't confirmed this yet, but, you know, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. It'll just take up the entire screen and you can't see nothing. And to me, that's kind of worthless. Until they give us a way to bound the box for the maps to limit their size on the screen, it's kind of pointless. It really is. However, if you know a way to bound the box to something within a specific constraint, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm actually curious on how people would do this if they do make it. But unless they bring something, that's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much going to be the issue for it right now. Now, see it in action. Here's the other thing you can do. Now, I showed you the viewing scope a moment ago. I hit the viewing scope here, and you'll notice on the screen, I don't have my mouse to point it out, but you still see the overlays. So they will overlap the viewing scope. So you can actually also have the viewing scope have some Lua output, and it will work. They'll layer over top of each other. At least that's the way it looks so far. The problem is, in order to get this overlay to work, I have a combination of like 6 microcontrollers. 4 to 6, something like that. And if we come in here, as you can see, I've got 2 here, 2 here, and 1 here. This one, these 3 are those dials, those radial dials. I will show them working in a moment, but for now, this is those 3 radial dials. One says ore per minute, one says drill, and one says piston. Those are monitoring the RPS of those 2 things. And then down here, we've got the 2 microcontrollers that manage the bars that are at the bottom. With finally, the last microcontroller, right here, with this one, manages that little top left data screen that manages the vehicle stats. You know, the fuel, battery, and temperature, as well as the speed. And it was originally built for a 1x1 display. Now, the thing is I actually had to make this microcontroller bigger so that it could accommodate a video input, so that I could create a pass-through to bring in all those other microcontrollers' videos into here until this is the final one. So all these other ones, they have video pass-through nodes where you input, it goes through, gets processed, sends the total video out to here, again, gets processed, sends the total video out to the next one, and it keeps doing that until finally it reaches the chair. Actually, it goes this way, it goes through all these, then hits this one, and then goes to the chair. And this what gives me my complete view of that overview. Without a way to really giving us like some sort of logic block to help manage layer all those different things together, you're going to have to make sure, if you want to make a series of this, you want to make sure whatever ones are like modular and have a video pass through, so that you can feed each successive layer of overlay through the system, eventually end up on your screen. Now, say we go spawn this, so you can see it a little bit in action. And we'll do more here in a second. Turn this on. Rev up the engine. Now, let's see. I'm going to engage the piston so that second radial from the top, the middle one. Oh. Forgot the clutch. Forgot the main clutch. Alright, there we go. You can see it's being active as it's coming up to speed. Release the drill so it's more visible. You can see it's right there. And then I just flip this switch. And as you can see, it doesn't... Okay, on my screen from what I'm watching, it's a lot faster than here. It's not catching a lot of the mid frames on the recording. But as you can see, here it's showing us 7.77. Here's the other thing. You go to right click to zoom in, you lose the outer section of your screen. I wish they made it scale in as you zoomed in. Kind of like how the driver's seat thing does. But it is what it is. Now, give me a minute. I'm going to take it and we're going to show a few other things. So, give me a moment. Okay, so I've made it out here. I've done a little drilling, a little mining. Engine's a little warm at the moment, but we're going to fix that. Let me get this up. Engage the piston. Engage the drill. Now, like I said, if you see down at the bottom of the screen, I have two bars. One says BD, one says AM. BD is what's stored in the body right now, and that's 133 items, and the ARM has 0 in it. Now that it's been released, if you'll watch, and you can see, bottom right, that it is showing the difference of what's being eaten up. The ore per minute thing, I was trying to get to work right, and it's just like, no. I think it's a tick issue, so I'll have to fix that later, but... You can see, yeah. And then I hit 4, and it'll drain the funnels. But here you see, I've got a working display that is showing me the current condition of the vehicle as according to... you know, the system that everything's given me. So, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So it's really cool. You can make things like this. Like I had to, however, like that one in the top left, I had to rework that one because it was built with the idea that it was going to be displayed on a 1x1 screen, and these screens so far are 9x5. These are a 9x5 screen. Even though it says that, the numbers are a little off. Because it's supposed to be like 32 pixels to a block. But yet, that doesn't completely match what I've had to work with. It feels more like a 5x5. More than a 9x5. No, it's... Either way. I digress. So, yeah. Look good. Be ready to see some cool shit like this coming out. And I know the first few things we're going to see stuff for like aircraft and such. Okay, went over the notes for the new update, saw that the overlays, how to attach them onto your thing, what nodes they used, what not to worry about, what to worry about, and yeah. So, for the most part, you're going to be looking probably, if you want to use this stuff for there, that you want to try to find stuff that is, one, that's modifiable in the data on where it positions stuff on a screen, where you wanted stuff that have video pass-throughs, so you can layer the stuff on top of each other, or a complete thing. The fact that the Lua scripting is now doubled over, do not be surprised if you see now microcontrollers with 3 or 4 Lua scripts to layer stuff on top of each other. And I'm pretty sure you can, the seats, composites now can be used straight into the thing. So X. The fact it doesn't really use the X and Y, it feels like. I don't think it does. Because I didn't see any option, because obviously I was clicking stuff out in the world. So it's a display-only thing, like the viewer scope. So, and that you can stack it with the view of the viewer scope from a camera. So, but you lose the ability to look around. It's interesting. It is what it is. So, yeah. So overall, I'm liking it. I love the cool shit, and I'm gonna be planning to make some changes to some of the stuff because it doesn't cost anything. That's the other thing. Like, from what I can tell, I'll have to double check the prices, but it didn't look like the seats cost any different. So it's just an output. So it literally doesn't cost anything, whereas the viewer scope's like $3,000. Like, what? Either way. So, yeah. So, hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, you know the deal. You know the spiel. This is Arcades, signing out. Have a good day. Whee!